Imagine this. You spent months, maybe years, loving someone. You believed your memories meant something. You imagined they would need time to heal, just like you. But then, a week later, a month later, you open social media. And there they are. Smiling. Holding someone else's hand. Looking happier than they ever looked with you. In that moment, one thought crashes into your mind. Did I mean nothing? Was I that easy to replace? That question has destroyed more hearts than the breakup itself. But what if I told you? The speed at which someone replaces you often has very little to do with your worth. And almost everything to do with their psychology. Because people don't always replace people. Sometimes. They replace feelings. They replace silence. They replace themselves. Today, we're going beyond the usual breakup advice. We'll uncover the hidden psychology behind why some people move on so quickly. Why it hurts so deeply. And why the person who seems to win the breakup at first often hasn't escaped it at all. Stay until the end. Because the final truth may completely change how you see your past relationship forever. The biggest lie after a breakup is believing that whoever dates first heals first. Psychologically, these are two completely different things. Healing means facing pain. Replacing means avoiding pain. Think about that. Imagine your house catches fire. One person puts out the flames. Another simply moves into a different house. From the outside, the second person looks fine. But they never learned why the fire started. Many relationships work exactly like this. Some people cannot tolerate emotional emptiness. The silence after a breakup feels unbearable. Instead of understanding the pain, they search for someone loud enough to drown it out. The new relationship becomes emotional anesthesia. Not emotional growth. This is why appearances can be incredibly misleading. One of the deepest human fears isn't heartbreak. It's loneliness. Some people would rather stay in the wrong relationship than sit alone with their own thoughts. After a breakup, that fear becomes overwhelming. Suddenly, there's no one texting good morning. No one asking where they are. No one validating their existence. Their identity feels like it's disappearing. Instead of rebuilding themselves, they borrow someone else's attention. Because attention feels like identity. Psychology calls this emotional dependency. The person isn't chasing love. They're chasing relief. And relief should never be mistaken for healing. Carl Jung believed every person carries a hidden side of themselves. The shadow. The shadow contains everything we avoid. Fear. Insecurity. Shame. Neediness. Abandonment. A breakup shines a brutal light on that shadow. Some people face it. Others run from it. Dating someone new immediately can become another escape. Not because the new person is extraordinary, but because they temporarily distract from the parts of themselves they refuse to confront. Here's the irony. The shadow always waits. Ignore it today. And it returns tomorrow. Often stronger than before. No new relationship can permanently silence an unresolved inner conflict. Let's be honest. Seeing your ex with someone else doesn't just hurt. It attacks your identity. Your brain immediately starts creating painful stories. They upgraded. I wasn't enough. They love them more. But notice something. Those aren't facts. They're interpretations. Your brain is trying to explain a painful event as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, our minds usually explain pain by blaming ourselves. Psychologists call this personalization. You assume their decision defines your value. But another person's choices are reflections of their psychology, not measurements of your worth. That's one of the hardest lessons in life. Social media makes everything worse. You don't see their arguments. You don't see the awkward silence. You don't see the insecurities. You only see carefully selected moments. A vacation photo. A birthday dinner. A smiling selfie. Your mind compares your worst memories to their best advertisements. That's an unfair battle. Remember this. People rarely post confusion. They post certainty. Even when certainty doesn't exist. The happiest looking relationships online often carry struggles invisible to everyone else. Never confuse visibility with reality. Here's a strange question. Can someone replace their childhood? Can someone replace their first heartbreak? Can someone replace years of memories? No. Because human beings aren't objects. You aren't a phone. You aren't a job. You aren't furniture. Every relationship changes the brain. Every shared experience creates unique emotional patterns. Neuroscience shows that meaningful emotional bonds leave lasting impressions. So no. They didn't replace you. They simply began creating different experiences with someone else. Different doesn't mean better. Different doesn't erase the past. And it certainly doesn't erase the impact you had. Have you noticed how some rebound relationships move incredibly fast? They say, "I love you," within weeks. They travel together. Move in together. Post constantly. Why? Because intensity often fills the space where intimacy hasn't had time to grow. Real intimacy develops slowly. It survives disagreements, silence, imperfections. Rebounds often depend on excitement. Excitement feels powerful. But it isn't always stable. When the honeymoon chemicals fade, the unresolved emotional wounds often return. This is why many rushed relationships struggle once reality replaces novelty. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Sometimes they really did care about you. And they still moved on quickly. Those two things can exist together. People don't always make healthy decisions. They make decisions that reduce immediate emotional discomfort. Humans naturally seek relief before growth. It's why we procrastinate. Why we avoid difficult conversations. Why we distract ourselves instead of healing. Their quick replacement may reveal more about how they cope with pain than how deeply they loved you. That's an important distinction. Right now, you may feel like you're losing. They're smiling. You're still healing. But healing isn't supposed to look impressive. A seed buried underground looks invisible. Yet that's exactly where life begins. Growth is often hidden. You're learning emotional independence. You're rebuilding confidence. You're discovering who you are without needing someone else's approval. That process isn't glamorous. But it's powerful. One day, someone will meet the version of you that heartbreak helped create. Not the broken version. The wiser one. The calmer one. The emotionally stronger one. And that version is impossible to replace. Before you leave, remember this. The person who replaces you quickly may appear to have won. But appearances are temporary. Character is permanent. Someone else's inability to sit alone with themselves is not proof that you were forgettable. Your value was never determined by how fast someone moved on. Real love cannot be measured by timelines. Real healing cannot be rushed. And the people who truly transform after heartbreak aren't the ones who find someone first. They're the ones who finally find themselves. So if you're still hurting today, don't rush your healing just because someone else rushed their distraction. Some stories end to make room for better chapters. Not because you weren't enough, but because life is still writing the version of you that hasn't met the right person yet. If this video helped you see your heartbreak differently, let us know in the comments. What lesson did your last relationship teach you? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you're ready to understand human nature, relationships, and the hidden psychology behind our emotions, subscribe and join us. Because here at Psyche Sync, we don't just help you move on. We help you understand why it happened, so you never lose yourself again.